Hi guys, it's Anjaya Yvonne here, and you're watching Anjaya Space. So first things first, I've already prepped my eyebrows with the Raw Essence Brow Gel. I put that on before I do my skincare routine and my primer. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start powdering up my eyebrows just because I wanna get rid of any excess shine or oil or anything. And I'm using the Airspun Loose Face Powder, and that is in the shade Suntan. Then I am going to take my Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Ebony. I'm going to start on the inner corner part of my eyebrow and make light strokes moving upward. And I'm going to do that all the way till I reach the start of my arch. Also, in between strokes, I make sure I brush the hairs of my eyebrows upward with the other side of the Brow Wiz. This is just to smooth and even out the color and the pigmentation. But again, it's going to look a little messy at first. You just have to have patience and just know that we'll clean it up later. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my Dip Brow Pomade by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color medium brown. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an angled eyebrow brush that has a spoolie on the opposite end. It's like a dual brush. And I'm gonna dip a little bit of product on my brush and then go from the arch all the way to the end of the wing of my eyebrow and fill that in. And what I'm doing is just filling in the places that has finer, thinner hair.
My mind, I need to get out of sight, but I end up behind bars.
Next, I am going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Medium Deep 1.5. This shade is 3 times lighter than my foundation shade, but there is a method to my madness. There is a reason why it's going to be super lighter. I am using the Morphe M432 brush. This is to sculpt out my eyebrows. So what I do is I take the brush and make a stroke from the inner corner of my eyebrow to the outer wing of my eyebrow. And I do that horizontally. And then I take my brush and turn it vertically and bring that concealer down to my eyelid. Now I am going over that with the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced in the shade Maple. This is going to even out the concealer tone, but I'm going to try to leave my arches and wings section of my eyebrows lighter. Okay, so now I am going to go in with the Monge Concealer Brush 51615, and I'm going to blend out all of that concealer all the way down to my eyelid. Now I am going to take my triangle powder puff and apply my Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder by Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in the color 310 Door. Now I am going to take another eyebrow concealer brush and use the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Chai, and I'm going to sculpt the top of my eyebrows out, starting from the inner corner to the outer wing. Now I am going to take the Real Techniques 259 brush and I'm going to blend out that concealer at the top of my eyebrows. Then I'm going to take a beauty blender and try to blend that out some more. And then I'm going to go back over with the Brow Wiz, the spoolie side of it, and just brush out the eyebrows more. And then I'm also going to go back with the Monge brush and blend that out some more on my eyelids. Basically, I'm just trying to blend as much as possible. Next, I am going to use my Morphe 3502 palette. You can also use the 3503 palette as well. So my eyeshadow technique is to find 3 shades. One shade that is close to your skin tone, which is going to be your blend-in shade or just like your base shade. The next shade is going to be your darker shade. It's going to be the darkest. And then your third shade is going to be your light shade. And then sometimes, give or take, I'll add a shimmer shade as well. I first start off with my base shade. So you can use a brush that's going to get as much space as possible. So right now I am using the Real Techniques 300 brush, and I am going to apply this over my eyelid. Now I am going to take a brush that is going to pinpoint smaller areas, and I'm going to take my darkest shade that I took and do that on the outer corner of my eye, and I'm going to work my way forward towards the inner corner but stop halfway through. And as you can see, I am using the tip of the brush with my hands instead of bringing my hands towards the front of the brush, so that way it won't put the product on there super thick. You want to do light brushes because you want to build the product. And I am also doing the darkest shade. Now I am going to take the NARS concealer and I'm going to put that on the crease of my eyelid, starting from the inner corner of my eye and then working my way to the outer corner. And as you can see, I'm stopping in the middle of my eye, so I'm not bringing the concealer all the way to the outer corner, but I'm moving towards that side, but I'm stopping in the very middle. And I'm also going to keep blending and adding product on top. I'm just building because I don't want to put too much product on. And I also like to look up, so you might see me looking up and like putting my chin down as I look up, so that way I can bring the concealer upward.
I didn't mean to end this life, I know it was alright. I can't even sleep and I can't get it out my mind. I need to get out of sight, but I end up behind bars. What started out as a simple altercation turns into a real sticky situation. Me just thinking on the time that I'm facing makes me wanna cry. Cause I didn't mean to hurt him. Could have been somebody's son, and I took his heart with. I pulled out that gun, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum. Stand down, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum, rum.
Next, I am going to use my shimmery shadow pigmentation, and I'm going to put that on top of the concealer. Or instead of using concealer, you can just use your lighter shade.
What you expect me to do if you're playing me for a fool? I will lose my cool and reach for my.
Now I am going to take the Essence Super Precise Eyeliner. It's long lasting and waterproof, and I'm going to apply that to my waterline.
He's no longer living, so I'm about to leave town. Yeah. Cause I didn't mean to hurt him. Could have been somebody's son, and I took his heart with. Pulled out that gun, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum. Lay down, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum, rum pa pa bum. Lay down, mama, mama, I just shot a man down in Central Station.
Now I am going to take that same Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Chai, and I am going to just put some of the concealer on some of my hyperpigmentation spots on my cheeks, and then I'm just going to blend that out. Then I'm going to take the Patrick Ta Major Skin Hydrolux Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation, and this is in the shade 20 Golden. And I am going to put that all over my cheeks, my nose, my forehead, my chin, my temples, just basically everywhere else other than around my eye area. And then I'm going to blend that out. Now I am going to take the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the maple shade, and I'm going to put that concealer under my eyes, and I'm going to drag it to the outer corner, like near my cheekbones, and then also drag it down where like my nose stops. And then I'm going to put some on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, my chin, and then right above my lip as well. Now, a technique that I use on my concealer is I take a fan and let it dry up a little bit before I blend it out. And I just like how it gives like that full coverage look. So now I'm going to blend out my concealer, and I am using the Mange 51015 brush. Then I'm going to take the Monge concealer brush in the number 51615, and I'm going to blend out my concealer that's on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and above my lips and my chin. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to blend it out some more. Then I'm going to take my Rare Beauty liquid blushes in the shade Joy and Grace. I'm going to first apply the Joy one, which has a orange pigmentation to it, and then I'm going to put Grace on top of Joy, which has a pink pigmentation to it. Once I put those two on, I'm going to then apply the lighter concealer to the inner corners of my eye. I'm then going to take my blush brush and I'm going to blend out my blush on my cheeks. So I'm going to try to smile so I can get the rosy cheek look, and then I'm going to blend my way upward towards my ear on my cheekbone. Then I'm going to blend out my concealer. That way it's going to blend into my blush, and it's also giving that light under eye look. Now I'm going to take my contour, or you can use bronzer, and I am going to contour right on the contour line. It's kind of up under the blush placement, but you can also look at your natural contour line and go based off of that. So I'm just going to bring that down and blend that out as well. Then for a good contour look, sometimes I do add concealer up under the contour and I blend that out as well. And today I just felt like doing it, so that's what we're gonna do. What started out as a simple altercation turns into a real sticky situation. Me just thinking on the time that I'm facing makes me wanna cry. 'Cause I didn't mean to hurt him. Could have been somebody's son, and I took his heart with. I pulled out that gun. Rum pa pa pum, rum pa pa pum. Now I'm going to take my foundation brush and I'm going to blend all of that out. And I'm also going to use a beauty blender to blend it out as well. So I will be working back and forth between my foundation brush and my beauty blender just to blend everything out. The foundation, the contour, the concealer, the blush, just blending, 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 blending. You're just gonna keep seeing me blend, 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 blend. Now I'm doing a little bit of touch up, so I'm using my contour brush and I'm going on my temples. And then I'm also going to go back over with my concealer brush, and I'm just touching up my concealer and just making sure there's no creasing involved and everything. And then I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder, and you're going to see me use my puff triangle, and I'm just going to use that up under my eye just to set that concealer in. Then I'm going to take that same contour and I'm going to contour my nose. I like to use this technique to where I bring the contour to my eyebrows and then bring it down towards my nose. Then I'm going to go back with that Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder, and I'm just going to be putting that powder on my T-zone area where I sweat a lot. Then I'm going to take my Laura Mercier loose powder and I'm just going to apply that all over my face, mainly my cheeks and everything else. And it's also going to help me blend out more things and just set everything down. I'm going to take my MAC lip liner in the shade Chestnut, and I'm going to apply that lip pencil on, and then I'm just going to blend that out. And then I'm going to take my Makeup by Mitchell lip gloss in the shade Milkshake for Me and put that on my lips. And then I'm going to top it off with a gloss by Mario in the shade Dragon Fruit. Then I am going to use that dark eyeshadow that I used earlier, and I'm going to go over my waterline with that and just replace that as a eyeliner. Then to finish it all off, I'm going to go with my One Size On Till Dawn mattifying waterproof spray, and then I'm going to top everything off with my Urban Decay makeup setting spray oil control. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time on Anjaya Space.